Welcome to Making Connection Studio. As Making Connection connects the children and youth towards the positive future. I am Nisha. Today we have one of the great professor, social worker and a journalist of India. He cares for people through his official role and his private foundation, the Umang Foundation. While doing social service, he also started extending hands to help the weaker sections of society. So welcome to in our studio.
Thank you, Nisha.
So it is such an honor for me to have the opportunity to interview you today. As it my dream and goal to be a journalist such as you are. You are a role model for me. So I would like to know who was a role model or inspired you to be a journalist which focuses on social justice.
Okay. I have 2 or 3 role models in my life. My first role model was my mother. She inspired me a lot for the weaker section of the society and to do something positive for the society's weaker sections, and she made me learn how to pay back to the society. It is very difficult for anybody to give such a teaching to his or her child that without caring your self-interest, you should do something positive irrespective of calculating loss to you and your family. So this was the lesson from my mother to me. And my role model in journalism is P. Sainath. P. Sainath is one of the greatest journalists of the world. Nobel laureate Amartya Sen once said that P. Sainath is the best expert on poverty and hunger in the world. So he is my role model. Since my young age, I used to read his stories when he was an intern in the Times of India. Now his book is considered as Gita or Bible for any journalist who is interested in developmental journalism. Name of his book is Everybody Loves a Good Drought. So he is my role model.
So I'm quite interested to know what obstacles did you face as you pursued your career as a journalist and how did you overcome them?
Yeah. When you opt for a career like a journalist with honesty and dedication, you have always to face some problems. Problems from the side of politician, from the side of antisocial elements, and sometime from the side of terrorists. When I was posted there in Chandigarh, at that time, terrorism or militancy was at its peak in that part of the country, Punjab. So I used to cover for my newspaper entire Punjab and Chandigarh. So during that time, I had to face a lot of problems while writing the stories. But as I said that I was somehow due to teachings of my mother and father, I always remained as an honest journalist. So I never gave up, and I wrote a lot. Fortunately, they could not harm me.
So in Tonglen, we are learning about holistic development, including social values. Do you think learning social values in school will inspire the younger generation to fight the rights of disadvantaged people?
Certainly. It is true that schools make any child a good citizen of the country. It is role of the teachers who make a child, who shape a child, the future of the child, and simultaneously it is the role and the duty of parents also to make his or her child a good citizen. So if teachers and parents teach the child about the disadvantaged sections of the society, their problems, their plight. So certainly some impression is made on the mind of the child.
As a journalist, you can help the needy persons by writing articles about their issues, and in your role as a government role, you have been an advocate for the rights of disabled people in the society. So why did you think it was necessary to organize the Umang Foundation to benefit disadvantaged members of society?
Nisha, I never played my official role as a government servant because as journalist, I was a private journalist associated with a private newspaper. You know, newspapers are not the government publications. So my newspaper, that was Jansatta, the sister publication of Indian Express in Hindi, that was a private newspaper. And my role as a university professor or teacher is my role is as teacher is just to teach the students. But I am a hardcore activist. So my role as activist I am playing. So I am not doing anything as official or the government officer,
Okay,
because I don't have any power.
I understand you fought for the rights of neglected elderly people.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's important for members of the young generation, such as myself, to take care of the older generation?
Because I fought for them. I will quote one story in brief. There is a old age home in Basantpur district, Shimla, and when I visited that home, I found there about 25 elderly persons. Most of them were persons with disabilities, and in very pathetic conditions they were. Their rights were grossly violated, their human rights were violated, and there was a lot of problems. There were a lot of problems they were facing. So I took this issue with the government, and the government as usual did nothing, and they were not ready to hear me in a positive way. Then I addressed a press conference. Then some issues were taken, but not as I wanted to. After some time, I again visited that home, and then I again addressed a press conference. After that, the government did nothing. It was the month of April 2012. Then the governor of the state, she is still a governor here, Mrs. Urmila Singh. She ordered a high-level inquiry. And what allegations I had made in that my press conference and later to the chief secretary, that were proved in that in that inquiry report. After that, the government had to take so many steps to make improvements there in that home. Now the scenario is entirely changed. The old age home is was dismantled, and the inmates, all the inmates were shifted to rented accommodation. Now government has started building a very state-of-the-art building, very modern building, and when the building is complete, they will be shifted there. Not only that, they were not allowed to, they were not entitled actually for availing pensions which is given to the elderly persons or persons with disabilities. After my advocacy or press conference or inquiry, they were issued disability certificates, and all of them are now getting pensions. And not only this, the government under my pressure prepared a policy, a state policy for elderly persons and old age homes. So that after that policy was formulated and announced, I kept trying that policy was implemented. So the present government is implementing that policy. So the scenario of old age home and rights of persons with disabilities in their old age has been entirely changed in the state. So it is a big achievement for my organization, that is Umang Foundation, and as individual for me.
And my last question is, do you have any advice for me as I pursue my goal of attending university and becoming a journalist?
Yes, it is a good career, but there are a lot of challenges. You will have to face a very difficult time, but if you are sincere, dedicated and honest, so any goal a person like you can achieve. So my all good wishes with you.
Thank you,
And always think that what Mahatma Gandhi said. He said that the duty of the journalist is to take care of the last person of the society. Who is the last person? Poor, downtrodden, underprivileged and a person with disability. So this section Mahatma Gandhi called last person of the society. If you take care of them, you will be more than satisfied, and there will be change in the society due to your efforts.
Thank you very much. I really value your words of wisdom. And also thank you for giving us precious time to join us in making connection with us.
Thank you. It is my pleasure also.
Thank you, sir.